So this is a cable that lets you charge your car anywhere where there is Khashmal. This is all the EVSE safety electronics, the same as in your Better Place charge spot. It can be physically mounted, it can be permanently affixed and connected up officially, or you can take it with you and charge anywhere. I was just in the Golan, the hotel I was at didn't have a Better Place charge spot. I just asked for a Khashmal, plugged in. Every morning I was 100%, just like at home. I was traveling in the Golan, I was at Moshav, Yonatan. We stopped at friends, we plugged into the power point. We got enough charge to get us back to the hotel without having to worry about switch stations all the time. It's not a replacement for switching, but it gives you a lot more flexibility. The reason we got it is because we don't have a charge point at our home in Tel Aviv. We only have one at our home in Jerusalem because we're renting in Tel Aviv. So we wanted something that we could take with us. So I found this supplier in the United States. It's open source. It can have additional things in it, such as Wi-Fi. You can put Wi-Fi in it so you can see on your phone or wherever where you're charging. And the most important thing about a charging cable that you can plug in anywhere is you have to be able to vary the current. A regular Better Place charge spot charges at 16 amps. Now 16 amps is what a regular Khashmal is as well, but you can only use 16 if there's nothing else on the circuit. So I put this green cable on as an industrial plug, which is actually a 32 amp plug. So if you've got, at home you might put in a plug like this when you've got a circuit with nothing else on it, and then you can plug in at 16 amps. Or, at your parents-in-law house, my wife's parents in Netanya, I put in a plug like this in their garage, just change the plug. I can charge at 16 amps because there's nothing else on the circuit. If you're visiting friends or you're at a hotel and you need to plug into a regular power point, then you need to turn inside the box, and in fact you could make it outside. There's a dial, you can turn it down, because, for example, just before, during Sukkot, I was at the hotel and I plugged in at the hotel and the lights in the sukkah went out. But then this recognised the problem and switched off when the lights went back on. So I turned it down and then plugged in, Kovaseda. How much does it cost? To 10 amps you can do almost anywhere.
How much does it cost and how would you bring it into Israel?
Okay, so it's
where do we buy it?
I can bring it into. I'm looking to bring it into Israel. It should cost around, including MUM, official receipt through my company, which is called Green Freedom. We sell electric bikes. We're going to add this to our line for about 2,200 shekels. So it's quite a bit cheaper than the Swedish cable that Ariel Hirschler is bringing in. Ariel Hirschler's cable is good, but it is quite expensive. And this is more flexible because this charging box will actually allow you to charge up to 60 amps. Now the Fluence can only charge at 16, but if you have a future electric car, or if one day you upgrade the charger of the Fluence, which is technically possible, to a faster charger, this actually can charge at a much higher amperage. So it's future-proof. The cable
is only 32.
This cable is only 32, but you can get it with a 70 amp cable as well. There's different options. Sorry?
I went to 7 in an hour.
Well, if at 16 amps, it will do about 15% an hour at home. If you have to dial it down to 10 amps, it does about 9 or 10% an hour. So if you're interested, I'll be able to give more details. I'm just looking to import it. There's a lot of details about it. Now, it comes as a kit. So we're going to probably import it as a kit and then get it assembled in Israel, get the Israeli plugs put on it, create the adapters so that it's flexible for people to use. So if you want to get your pens, you want to write down my email address. Now, The email is best because that's my business email address, and I have someone else to answer emails as well. It's Andrew, Andrew, at Freedom E-Bikes, which is FreedomEBikes. Freedom E-Bikes.
One word.
All one word, yes. Freedom E-Bikes. One word. .com.
We'll send it to everyone.
What about regulations?
Okay.
That's the problem.
So apparently there was some rule passed in the early days of Better Place that you're only supposed to charge an electric car with a fixed point. Now this is something that the Amutaj has been lobbying to change, but this can be fixed and installed totally legally. But if you...
I'm not worried about this. This is what worries me. I mean,
Okay.
the regulations maybe.
Okay, so you can install this completely legally if you get an electrician to install it and you fix it to the wall, like it's got things to fix it to the wall. If you choose to take it with you, then technically it's not, but
Yeah.
I think it's completely unenforceable, frankly. What are they going to do?
Someone said that the law says that the box should be capable of mounting to the wall.
Right, well this is, it is capable, yeah.
Yes.
And it is waterproof as well.
Is this legal?
It's an outlet. Now,
Is this-
this is just a converter so that you can plug into this, because it's important. I have it like this so one always remembers that this is a high, this takes 16 amps, and as much as possible you try to use this. But if you have to plug this in, it reminds you to turn it
How
down.
do you do that? Can you show?
Be a party pooper, but if we stay here any longer, we're going to be spending Shabbat here. They're going to be close.
Anyway, I think that's all. I'll put up something.
How do you
on
turn
Facebook.
on the dial?
Okay, there's a dial inside, but I'm going to, when I import them, I'm going to make it so the dial is on the outside.
Okay.
It's future-proof for how much? 70?
60 amps. Yeah. This is what plugs into the car. No, you don't. You keep the original cable for a better place.
What is the output?
So what?
Output voltage?
It's just the same. It's just 240 volts. This is just safety electronics. It doesn't change the voltage or anything.
So if here is 16 up, here will be 60 up.
Yeah, if it's 16 amps here, 16 amps here. If you wanted to upgrade it, you put a 32 amp cable here and you can use 32. This is 32.
Does this lock?
Yes, and it does lock. It locks the same as the Better Place. When you lock the car, it locks in place, yes.
You can come to somebody anywhere and say, look,
Can we bring it outside because they have to lock the door?
Okay, sure.
Okay.
I'm going to plug in.
I would ask if it is water safety.
Yeah, this is all compliant with EBSE. It's got, in order to plug into the car, it has to have all the safety electronics. It's got all the safety stuff, and it's compliant. It's compliant with J1772, which is the standard.
Standard.
Had it 2 weeks.